What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. Happy Monday. I mean, well, it's Monday. I know that's not always awesome. This week's going to be pretty nuts. I'm moving, but I'm going to try to maintain my regularly scheduled programming for all of you. I might have to take Friday off. We'll see. The first weekday I've taken off in maybe ever. I can't think if I've ever done it before, but the Rings of Power going on lockdown, turning on fans now, starting with the fake garbage narratives about bigoted fans and fans that don't like the skin color of certain actors and actresses with absolutely zero evidence. And the official Rings of Power Twitter account, I've had zero interaction with them ever. They blocked me. I happened to just look at it and I was like, oh, hey, here's a tweet somebody retweeted from the Rings of Power. Blocked. Already blocked. You just love to see it. Now, there's been a lot of memes going around about the Rings of Power. Of course, the CW meme, which is pretty hilarious. This one by Perry Chan, does a lot of funny video editing. You see the One Ring writing, how to win over fans. 1. When you change Token's history and characters, keep deflecting and then tell them you love Token. 2. When fans point out your changes, call them racist trolls. What a winning strategy. We'll look at this article too. But here is the main actress, the actress who plays Galadriel, the Captain Marvel of the series, basically, posting a couple of things to her Instagram yesterday. Morphid Clark writes, anyone sending hate to my black castmates, get off my page and get off the internet and shut up. Come on. Come on. You got to clap. All right, well, hit the like button at least. And subscribe if you haven't yet. This show is going to be an absolute dumpster fire. This was posted yesterday to her Instagram. No evidence of any of this kind of stuff. And it's exactly like the garbage articles with Kelly Marie Tran, where, the Star Wars said, oh, Kelly Marie Tran was ran off the internet because of all these trolls who had a problem with her race and all these people who had a problem with her being a wham, and never once posted any reasonable amount of examples. Now, do I think that there is a message? Am I saying that a message doesn't exist that said something heinous to her? I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. But did it come from the fandom? Are you using a broad brush to paint the entire fandom with it? Because that's what Star Wars did, and it did not go well for them. And then she posted this. You can see Stefan posting this. Is also from her Instagram. Looks like Rings of Power is taking a page from Lucasfilm. Can't wait to see how this plays out. And there's this video that has one of the characters from their Entertainment Weekly photo shoot thing that they did, and it's like, it just tells them, whoever did this to F off. I mean, no evidence whatsoever of anything like that happening. Let's see if it's not, I don't know why it's not playing, but essentially the character just says F, to F off or something like that. I mean, that's exactly what Lucasfilm did when people didn't like The Last Jedi, when people criticized not Kelly Marie Tran, because nobody had a problem with Kelly Marie Tran, beautiful, talented actress. Her character, however, oh, here goes. You could see who made this, and then it says, shut the F up. I mean, I'm assuming that's to the haters. The haters. Well, Kelly Marie Tran's character sucked. There's no doubt about it. She was a garbage character that was given, put in really dumb situations, and but none of that was Kelly Marie Tran's fault. There are a lot of dumb characters in Star Wars, let's be honest. But they pushed her out there for, like she was going to be some star, and they gave her a bunch of lines, and they sucked. You can see, reminds me of Ghostbusters 2016 cast. Y'all pathetic, misogynistic man babies. Also 2016 cast effort tanks. People hate females in the lead roles. I mean, yes, normies will still watch this. Here's Lord of the Rings on Prime, verified account, blocked. I'm blocked. I've never even interacted with this account. No, that's fine. They can block whoever they want. I noticed somebody tagged me in this tweet. The cast of Rings of Power sat down to talk to Time magazine. Read the full story. We will read some of it because, of course, I love how they just attack anybody who doesn't like it is a bigot, right? You see a lot of these replies to the, I mean, just anytime they post anything online, they're getting completely dunked on. You see some here's happy account, here's let's go, here's something that, I don't know, looks like a romance. You know, Celebrimbor, here you have, I mean, there's not a lot of hate. There's really not a lot. Haters fear this cast. Do they? I mean, this means that all the non-white people in Middle Earth were killed off between the second and third age. Yeah, wait, what? When does Game of Thrones start? You could see Ismael Cruz Cordova previously said and spoke the truth. We're all creating something new. That's why this series will fail. They've dishonored the author and the work, creating something they wanted to create instead of making a faithful adaptation that fans could enjoy. Stop putting this on my feed. I'm not interested. I'm assuming they're doing promotion for it. Days of Our Lives reboot is what it looks like. I mean, 3 out of 5, more than half of the cast presented here, playing characters that have nothing to do with Tolkien, TV's hubris, biggest hubris. I mean, there is started to be, you know, it started to go kind of sideways. And you see this article in Time. Hold on a second. Let me check this article in Time magazine, see if it's out there. I don't want them to change anything, so we got to make sure that they, you know, that we have an archived version of it, because that often happens. You know, they change things and then they pretend like they stealth edit things. They pretend like they never said what they said. That's why I always use archives. And you could see, essentially, there's a huge fluff piece. But if we go here, you could see, and then there's real life trolls who take issue with the fact that Cordova, a black Puerto Rican man, is playing an elf. Why does it make you a racist to point out that that's ridiculous? I don't understand. It is ridiculous. It's like people pointing out, you know, originally when John Boyega was cast out as a stormtrooper, we didn't have all the information at the time, but you know, stormtroopers are supposed to be clones, and it was like, well, how do you end up with a black clone? It didn't make sense until you had more context. But then anybody that said anything about that at that time was also called racist. Why? Reasons. Like, reasons. And that young Galadriel doesn't appear feminine because she wears armor. Kane and Tolkien quote at the ready about trolls. Quote, creatures of dull and lumpish nature that have no more language than beasts, Weber is more direct. We're all up for criticism, she says. We're not up for racism. Well, here's the thing. When you call all criticism racism, then you're not really up for any kind of criticism, are you? Galadriel actor Morfydd Clark, who broke out in 2019 with his Dark Materials, an indie film, Saint Maud, never heard of either one of them, casts a skeptical eye on complaints about her character. The Galadriel we met in Jackson's films, played by Cate Blanchett, is a serene elder stateswoman nearing retirement, but Clark's version is more youthful and stubborn. Clark, 32, who speaks with Welsh lit and bears a striking resemblance to Blanchett, wants to explore how Galadriel evolves as she ages, and center of the journey has been a male-dominated story. I didn't read the books and think, I wish there were more female characters, just because I took it as given, and that's the way things were, she said. I'm standing on the shoulders of women who spilt metaphorical blood to get this point. I hope young people, should they watch this, will think, this is just the way things are. So you want to rewrite history? Cordova also knew something was missing from the Jackson films he adored. He grew up in a small mountain town in Puerto Rico, harbored a childhood dream of playing an elf. I didn't see myself represented, and when I said I wanted to be an elf, people said, elves don't look like you, he says. When I heard about the character on the show, it felt like a mission. Did you really say that? That just seems completely made up. I knew since I was a small child that I always wanted to play an elf. Did you? Did you? Cordova was initially rejected for the role several times, but the actor has appeared on shows like Ray Donovan, The Undoing, auditioned again and again over 7 months. When he finally got the call that he landed the role, news dispatched to him in secret code, of course, he screamed for joy in the streets of New York City. I mean, good for you. You know, nothing I never have anything personal against these actors. And maybe he'll play a fantastic elf, but elves aren't black. That's just the reality. Now, both are fake. So people can say, well, you know, and neither are dragons, allegedly. Fair. That's fair. But we know why Amazon cast the way that it did. And we know exactly what's coming next. We're going to have these more and more actors. Then we're going to get the stories about how the main actress is suffering all sorts of mean comments sent to them. Then maybe one of them will quit social media, and there'll be a bunch of articles about that, because that's what they did with Star Wars. They sent her out on this, like, woe is me tour, and it was one of the most fake, obvious publicity stunts I'd ever seen in my life. Even last night, I basically busted a fake bot network demanding positive reviews, which we'll talk about in a different view today. This is all marketing dollars that they're spending. And I, for one, absolutely cannot wait for the huge mess that this show is going to be. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.